Good morning, folks. Well, it's morning for me. It's 9:20 a.m. On the 28th day of September 2011. Just answered the door. Got this package, and I've already removed the address information. It's funny. I simply cut off the labels. When I removed this label, where the actual address was, there's a sticker underneath. This carton is not suitable for shipping. Please place carton in a larger box to ship. And I'm thinking, well, apparently it was suitable for shipping. Because here it is. Alrighty. Unless I've lost the meaning of what that label says. I'm more of a receiver than a sender. The last thing I sent out was my prize for my contest to Corporal Calico. Prior to that, the last time I shipped something out, I'm not too sure. I don't really recall. Now, that could either mean it's been a really long time, or just the fact that I have a horrible memory. Take your pick. Anyways, what is it? Oh, seems quite well packed. I can tell you, it's compatible with something I already have, a machine I already got recently. Pretty much the compatibility is on par with the last computer that you saw me unbox. So yes, there you have it. It's a computer. There you go. Power supply. Quite heavy. Quite heavy. Typical of 80s era computers. Let's check the other end, plug end here. There's the plug. Alright. Now, which machine is it? As I said, it's compatible with the last computer I got. This one was actually the last run of the 8-bit models by this company. Oh, which you already know is Atari. You had two machines that shipped in the Jack Tramiel era of Atari ownership. A lot of people despise the man, love him or hate him. I mean, we could thank him for a lot of things. A lot of people thank him for the creation, I believe, of Commodore, at least of the Commodore 64 series of machines. He was always known to be quite the tyrant of a businessman, and a lot of Atari people despise him for the choices he made when he took over Atari. Come on. Now, the release of these last 8-bit machines under Jack's reign, now you can see the keys are somewhat yellowed. I was expecting this. That's okay. I got a great deal and a good price on the machine. Supposedly functional, so that would be the main thing. As I said, compatible with the Atari 800 XL. This is the 130 XE. As I said, these were the last 8-bit machines. The 130 XE, and I believe the 65, if my Wikipedia information is correct. I'm sure I can be corrected. I believe the 65 XE, but I think that was only released in Europe. Yeah. And these were the last 8-bit machines that came out of Commodore. a Commodore of Atari, and they premiered basically the same time as the ST line, the Atari ST line of computers, which is why they decided to pretty much give it the same styling as the ST. But being a 8-bit machine, of course, the insides, again, being pretty much compatible with the 800 XL, it's much more smaller and compact than the 16-bit ST line of computers. Yet the casing is very similar in styling, pretty much identical in styling to the larger ST 16-bit line of computers. So it's pretty much and not I wouldn't say an upgraded, but just a revised, more up-to-date version of the Atari 800 XL. So great for running all your Atari 400 and 800 cartridges. There's your typical joystick ports on the side there. Atari 130XE. Okay. And on the back is your cartridge port and an expansion port. Monitor, of course, TV switch, RF out, power, on-off switch, and peripheral connector right there. Alright, so yeah, I wanted this because I just wanted the last most up-to-date version of the Atari 8-bit line, you know, pretty much before they went out of production. And I got my 800 XL replacement, which I've still yet to test, just haven't had the time. But here's the 130XE, which was the last of the 8-bit run, in the new ST style casing. I like it. I like the look. I like the look of the STs. And let's see, a bit more information here. Jack Tramiel's, Atari Corporation produced the final machines in the 8-bit series, which were, yes, I was correct, the 65XE and the 130XE you see here. They were announced in 1985 at the same time as the initial models in the Atari ST series, and visually resembled the Atari ST. Alright. Originally intended to be called the 900XLF, the 65XE was functionally equivalent to the 800XL minus the PBI connection. The 65XE European version, European version, so possibly the 65XE was also released in the US. And the 130XE had the Enhanced Cartridge Interface, ECI, which was electronically almost compatible with the parallel bus interface, but physically smaller since it was located next to the standard 400-800 cartridge interface and provided only those signals that did not exist in the latter. So yeah, that was the expansion port I pointed out right next to the cartridge port. So ECI peripherals were expected to plug into both the standard cartridge interface and ECI port. I'm not sure if any peripherals like that came out. I think the line died off before they managed to get around to doing that. And the ECI port. The 130XE shipped with 128 kilobyte of memory accessible through bank selection. So that's it, folks. That is my Atari 130XE. And let me just make sure there's nothing else in here. No, I think it was just well packaged. Okay, cool. And the person I would like to thank for this, it's funny, I don't know about you guys, but this always seems to happen to me. I make a deal with somebody on a product at, oh I know, you're going to be really shocked here, Atari Age. Let me just, yeah, at Atari Age. And sure enough, just as I'm thinking, I wonder, did that person get around to shipping it off yet? Sure enough, I get it the next day. That typically happens. There it is. Oh yes. Okay, so let me just go through here. This is where I inquired about it. Thanks, Brian. Some money sent. That was back on the 16th. And then I just asked, yeah, I just asked yesterday. There we go. I just asked yesterday. So, yeah, our last communication was on the 16th, and the 27th would have been our communication yesterday. And I was just checking in, asking him if he had sent it off, and he indeed did get back to me quite promptly, and said that he had sent it over a week ago, which I can confirm because, you know, here it is in front of me right now. And that is from Brian. Simply Brian. Not simply Brian, just Brian. Brian over on Atari Age Forums. Thanks for the deal. Thank you for the Atari 130 XE with power supply. Great doing business once again with a fellow collector and computer enthusiast on Atari Age. Rob, MaximumRD out. Thanks for watching and checking out my new old 130 Atari XE. Now, see what I can do about cleaning up those keys.